every aircraft in the state of Alaska that has a tank has been active on this fire today.
You can hear the roar and see it as well right there. The Riley fire causing the evacuation of several hundred Denali National Park employees, campers, and hikers as the several hundred-acre blaze rages near the entrance of the national park.
Fire, maybe even growing larger, and it's quickly spreading. So I could understand that. Unfortunately, for the people that are on those trips, I really feel for you, and I wish, I wish this wasn't impacting their trips. But we're in the interest of keeping things safe.
Officials with Denali National Park and Preserve, as well as the Bureau of Land Management Alaska Fire Service, tell us that the Riley fire, which erupted this afternoon, has grown to hundreds of acres in size. AK Fire Service says all westbound tour and transit bus services have been discontinued, and visitors currently west of the park entrance area, they're being shuttled eastward. Hundreds of people in the area are currently under evacuation orders. Anyone with plans to go to the park, especially near the park entrance where there are several businesses, they're encouraged to stay away, as those who are fighting the blaze by land and by air are waiting for more help to arrive. All visitor facilities and operations are closed tomorrow. People are already in campgrounds west of the park headquarters are being allowed to stay there until their reservations expire. No new reservation holders are being allowed into the park. We want to emphasize that at last check, no structures have been damaged or are under immediate threat, and we've received no reports of injuries. We have a crew on the ground tonight near the entrance to the Denali National Park and Preserve, and that's where we find Lex Yelverton. Lex, what do you see? What can you show us with your camera there?
Joe, you can see the Riley fire just right behind me. It is right near the entrance of the Denali National Park. You can see the smoke still billowing up into the air. This is an active fire, and it is still not contained. It spans roughly 350 acres, and on top of that, you can see a crew right now. They're dropping water on top of the fire, trying to gain control of the fire, and it has caused the evacuation of hundreds of people. Now we talked to leaders with the National Park Service. Paul Oleg with the Denali National Park says the Riley fire was identified at about 2:30 this afternoon and again has grown to more than 350 acres in size. As you can see, this fire is burning near structures, although at last check, officials say there's no immediate threat to structures, and we've not heard a word of any injuries. Fire officials are asking people to stay off all front country trails, and day-use visitors are being turned around at the park entrance. All camping and park trails are evacuated and closed in the area. The area where the fire is currently burning is up above the Nana River in Prague and in close proximity to the Horseshoe Lake Trail area. For those who aren't aware, that is a dense forest.
We currently have jumpers and crew working on the fire. They'll be working through the night. And then we have 4 interagency hotshot crews that are en route, as well as a complex incident management team that will be assisting with the fire throughout the week.
Like you just heard, Denali National Park leaders are going to be working and having crews out throughout the night working on this wildfire. They're coordinating with multiple agencies, and they are working on getting 80 firefighters from the lower 48 to come and help with firefighting efforts here for the wildfire. This is something that we're going to continue to look at and develop as it's a developing situation, and we'll have more on this at alaskasnewssource.com, and you can find the latest there. Joe?
Thank you so much, Lex. Multiple fires across the state are a cause for growing concern. The Alaska Division of Forestry and Fire Protection reports that 4 new fires started this weekend alone, including the Tustamina Lake Fire, the Montana Creek Fire, the Corky Fire, and the East Redoubt. The Tustamina Lake Fire and Montana Creek Fire are 2 of the bigger concerns. Rebecca Palsha has the story.
A hot, dry weekend leads to fires across the state. The Montana Creek Fire, 16 miles south of Talkeetna, reported Saturday afternoon and quickly grew to 172 acres in size, consuming grass, brush, and black spruce. The Matanuska Susitna Borough wrote on Facebook that a Type 3 team is heading to Alaska from Wyoming and will assume command of the Montana Creek fire Monday morning. Officials say this fire is one of its biggest concerns, but officials are feeling more confident in suppression efforts that have already happened.
The Montana, part of it was burning in a fog, but the other part of it, they really were putting a lot of water and retardant on it and really were able to really kind of dampen it and bring the fire activity down. And now that they have a lot more firefighters on it, it's a matter of improving that.
The Tustamina fire, 20 miles south of Soldotna, was reported Saturday burning black spruce.
They did a good job of corralling that fire and making sure that it didn't spread.
The Alaska Division of Forestry and Fire Protection reports the Tustamina Lake fire is holding at 35 acres with 12 smoke jumpers joining Kenai area firefighters, 2 scoopers, and 2 helicopters dropping water. Rebecca Pulsha, Alaska's news source.
And the fire service says if you're living in Alaska, especially out in the woods, to build a safe perimeter around your home. The Alaska Division of Forestry has some tips on how to mitigate damage. Anyone living in Alaska is encouraged to follow this advice, as wildfires can burn across the state. People are encouraged to remove all conifers, which is dead or dry vegetation, within 15 feet of a structure, to prune limbs of mature conifers and remove dry shrubs underneath trees within a 30-foot radius of a structure. BLM also says planting fire-resistant trees such as birch can help. Another tip, consider putting gravel down around the home rather than flammable vegetation. People are encouraged to keep garden hoses and fire tools readily available and consider installing a pump and a generator. And we heard earlier in the day that cooler temperatures and rain was offering some firefighter crews relief in at least parts of South Central and the Kenai Peninsula. That's where we find meteorologist Christina Campbell, who joins us now with a look at other wildfires around the state, as well as a first look at our forecast. Christina?
Yes, we did get a little bit of help from Mother Nature today in terms of the wildfires across the South Central region, and we'll likely see a lot more help from Mother Nature with a big Siberian front that'll help the wildfires in the interior, the largest ones. Right now, we do have 164 active wildfires in the state of Alaska, with 24 new ones in the last 24 hours. To date, year to date, 410,000 over 410,000 acres, the largest, of course, McDonald, the Clear, and other large ones, the Globe. Still, there are others that are growing in size. Right now, there is a dense fog, a dense smoke advisory in effect. Rampart, Livengood, all the way down to Delta Junction and eastward to Coal Creek, including Chena Hot Springs. In the South Central region, our fires are a lot smaller. However, the Montana Creek is the largest, 150 acres, and then we have most of them in the Kenai Peninsula area. Ptarmigan Lake is nearer to Seward in the eastern Kenai Peninsula, and most of these are small but human-caused. So we do want to bring it to your attention that the fire danger is high in the Mat-Su Valley, Prince William Sound, Copper River Basin, and the entire Kenai Peninsula. And there is a suspension for burn permits. So be aware that this is that these permits are on suspension. In the Anchorage area, open fires are prohibited, campfires, burn pits, all prohibited. So just know fire danger is high, use caution. Add to that, we also have some gusty winds that are headed our way. Today, here's a look at the gusty winds that we had today. This does not help with the fire danger, but the good news is we are going to see cooler temperatures from these 70s and upper 60s. We'll get closer to our averages as the work week gets here. And as we look ahead, we're going to continue to see some scattered showers. That will help a bit, but some areas further inland are likely to still see some thunderstorm activity, which does not help. Of course, I'll have all your forecasts coming up for the July winter outlook a little bit later on. Joe?
Thank you so much, Christina. Up next on the news at 10, planning a drive to Palmer or Sutton or to or from there? Well, there's going to be some delays. River erodes the Glen Highway. Plus, outdoor fire also plaguing a California community has fire crews working overnights. Drivers planning to go to who are from Palmer or Sutton expect heavy delays. Take a look at that. That's Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry in traffic on the Glen Highway, where there's a lot of heavy equipment and a pilot car being used in both directions of the highway, at least when this video was sent a couple hours ago. And take a look at these pictures here. Water up to the highway at milepost 63.6 by Sutton. The flow of the Matanuska River is causing erosion to the riverbank. This last Monday, it was at about 50 feet off the highway, and you can see it right there. There has been asphalt damage as crews continue placing material into the night. And while there will be likely heavy delays into the overnight hours, the Alaska Department of Transportation says the highway is open. They're encouraging drivers to watch out for flaggers and heavy equipment in the area and to drive cautiously. And an outdoor fire threatening buildings in California as a 400-acre bush fire burns in Fontana near the Jurupa Hills Regional Park today. That fire, which is being referred to as the Sierra Fire, was first reported at about 3:30 this afternoon near Sierra Avenue south of the I-10 freeway. That quickly grew from 1 acre to 40 acres by 4 p.m. and again jumped to 350 acres by 6:30 tonight, prompting a second alarm response from firefighters, including a support from the Riverside County Fire Department. Crews were previously set up in front of the homes in the area in the event that the fire moved towards homes. And they say that the threat to structures has been mitigated. Because of the large fire, there's a wildfire smoke advisory issued there through tomorrow afternoon. That advisory was issued for parts of San Bernardino and Riverside counties, including the communities of Fontana, Jurupa Valley, Bloomington, Rialto, and Colton.